Hey folks, I'm Priya Rao with the First Weekend Club, and we are talking with the director of a very cool film here at Hot Docs, Mr. Zaheed Mawani. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, tell us about this very cool Harvest Moon.
Yeah, so I went to Kyrgyzstan, and
first of all, which is where?
Which is in Central Asia, which a lot of people don't know much about. And I followed a family during the walnut harvest season.
First of all, did not know there was such a thing as a walnut harvest season. This sounds like a big deal over there. You were saying that you've heard about this story from your parents who had been living there for a while.
Yeah, my parents lived there for 8 years, and in Kyrgyzstan it's well known. These forests are well known as they're a source of biodiversity. So they have like ancient strains of fruits and nuts. It's kind of like a genetic time capsule. And so they told me about it, and I was kind of really curious about it, especially in the context of kind of global food security and that kind of stuff.
And you've focused on one family who's continuing this family tradition of harvesting walnuts. So tell us about the other character in the film outside from the family, and we're talking about the forest here.
Yeah, I think the forest is this magical, unusual place, and I think it definitely is a character in the film, and I wanted to convey that as best I could through the sound and through, I wanted to get a sense of like the color, what it feels like to be there, and I tried to convey that through the film.
And when we were talking just quickly before we got on camera, you mentioned you used the term sinister to describe the forest. I was thinking it was more going to be sort of a la la la, fairies in the trees and these wonderful good spirits. But sinister is a really interesting choice of description.
I think because I heard so many different ghost stories or myth stories, I think that maybe there's something about that made me maybe project a little bit. Also, the forests are disappearing; they're endangered, and I think there's something about that maybe not sinister, but it kind of lends. There's maybe a
foreboding?
Negative kind of yeah, exactly. Like there's something that's being potentially lost.
Right. And was that a through line of your film?
It was. I mean, it's tricky when you're trying to balance telling a story and also providing a larger context. I hope that it comes through, but it's definitely perhaps a bit more subtle than it otherwise would be or could be.
Right. Well, I'm curious to see this forest in action. Tell us where and when we can see it.
So the premiere is going to be on May 1st, Tuesday at 6:30 p.m., and then there's another screening on the 3rd at 8:45 p.m., and then another one on Saturday the 5th.
That's Harvest Moon, and all the information is on hotdocs.ca. Thanks so much, Zaheed.
Thanks for having me.